Thought I could count on you. I thought we had a deal. I gave you all I had. Put you in front of friends. It was me and you. For it was one of them. I introduced you to them. I should've seen it then. It was never about me. It's what I could do for you. What you could get about me. Who I could introduce you to. I knew the truth. Still there was nothing I would do for you. A fool for you. You break my legs. Still jump through hoops for you. I thought we had a deal. 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 It's hard to let you go when I'm still holding on. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, should be moving on. This shit is stupid hard, and I ain't ready for it. Said I should leave you, I don't need you, I ain't ready for it. They weren't there for it, no, they weren't there, were they? They weren't there when she despaired to have her prayers working. She wanted to die daily, and I was 9 maybe. I'm on the couch with mom, talking about don't cry baby. We'll be alright baby, yeah we gon' make it through. I'm scared to death inside, but I know I can't let it through. I didn't know where to turn, I didn't know what to do. You gave me hope when there was none, I owe my life to you. I thought we had a deal.
Leave me not ready to let you go, let you go. I'm begging, don't leave me. Take anything you want, everything if you want it.
You gave my life purpose before it had any. You gave me courage when I didn't have any. We were the best of friends before I had any. I gave you all I had. You turned your back to me. You set a trap for me. I never seen it coming. You had me blind to if I didn't want to feel you numb it. You left my life a wreck, and I hate you for it. I'm still in love with you, and I hate you for it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to St. John Live. My name is Mike St. John. I'm here with Robbie Pearson as my guest. Welcome to St. John Live on this Monday night at 8 p.m. Like I said earlier, last week we're going to be going live at a short time. We was 9 o'clock, and we're going to start off 2025 going at 8 p.m. Eastern time. 9 p.m. is just a little too late for us old folks, right, Robbie? Huh?
Bro, I'm still young.
Yeah, let us know you can hear. Let us know you can hear us real good. We got a new mic in studio.
Check 1, check 2.
Yeah, check 1, check 2. If y'all don't care, man, let's get this shared out, man. Let's get this shared out to the groups. If you got a family member struggling, send them a private message and let them know we're live, man. We're just here for a hope shot. We're nobody special. St. John Recovery and Behavioral Health Council in Richmond, Kentucky, 859-300-1503. One of my page sponsors. GetLive.com. Adam Larkin, he's one of my page sponsors. Also, check him out on all social media platforms. If y'all don't care, post your sobriety dates, post your clean dates. Let us know where you're watching from. Kenny says he can hear us real good. Is it clear, Kenny? I got these new mics. My wife, Santa, came and saw me because I was a good boy, and I hope they're check 1, 2. I hope they're sounding pretty.
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
But yeah, post your sobriety dates and let us know where you're watching from. I see y'all in the comments, man. I'll get to these comments, but I brought Robbie in tonight, man. I've had Robbie on my podcast one time before, and Robbie's got a powerful story now. And Robbie had a little setback here a while back. And, it's not about the fall. It's about the fight to get back up. And that's why I brought him in here because, through the holidays and through the new year, you know what I'm saying? Which you've been here in studio and I've been on the phone. Like I had to turn my phone on silent. I had 3 people reaching out for help. I got my brother going to get one in Louisville. I've got one that just showed up. I mean, it's been crazy. It's getting cold outside, but, the struggle's real. This disease is real. Yeah. Our feelings are real. If we don't know how to handle life and we don't know how to, handle situations, it can turn out real bad for us.
Exactly.
But let's get in these comments, man. Let's give some shout outs here. Like I said, if y'all don't care, get this shared out. Matthew Carlson, he's always been in here supporting me, man. This past Friday, December 27th, I now have 12 years. Congratulations, Matthew. Raquel Keaton, I see you, Rack. Did it off the roof one time for the one time. Come on. Woo, woo. Kenny Daniels, good to see you in here, Kenny. I ain't seen you in a minute. Amber Cole, I see you. Yeah, all clear. Okay. My wife's not in here, but yeah, it'll be all right. But yeah, she must be out and about. She said she was on her way, but we're in studio here at the office, and we'll be here Monday nights at 8 p.m. So, the holidays is by, the New Year's coming up, and we've been sitting here talking back and forth, man. 2024 was a hard year for me, but it was a good year for us, mentally, business wise, family wise. It was a hard year, but we learned a lot through this year.
Definitely.
You was there anytime I reach out. I was there anytime you reach out. Robbie is now part of the recovery police with me, Jessica Renner. Did you hear what I just said? Robbie is my new sheriff, and we'll get into that story here in a little while, huh?
She knows. I called her.
Okay, yeah. Hey, yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. He come out of the bathroom and said, F word. Yeah.
Yeah, he come out, see Mike and me, and was like, "Oh man, it's over. It's over." Which that's, man, I've been there, and it's you don't when the devil's got you like that, and you're in the middle of that last run, and the last person you want to see is Mike St. John. I looked at him, I said, "Man, you ruining my buzz, bro." And thank God he did, man, because I was just thinking about that on the way over here. What a blessing it is to be able to stop after a week of using, man. Because had I not had 5 years clean before, I wouldn't experience all that love and all that joy and that freedom
Yeah.
And I was going to do whatever it took to get that freedom and that love and that joy back in my heart.
Let's get into, like, you're from Richmond, like we're right here in your stomping area, like we're right in the center of Richmond here.
I'm not from here. I ended up here
Yeah.
as a fugitive. I ran here when I was on the run. I'm from Ohio. I ended up in Jackson County, but I couldn't understand what none of them folks was talking about. so I couldn't even be a good fugitive in Jackson County. I had to migrate to Richmond. But yeah, that's how my story with Kentucky started. Was, I got served 5 indictments in the mail, and I said, "Mom, take me to Jackson County, where the men are men and the sheep are nervous." I'll tell you what, man, it was I ran for 3 years and they got me right across the street here. They got me. It's crazy, man.
Kenny, I love you, bro. I had no idea. It's not about the file; it's about the fight to get back up. And thank you for being transparent and
that's what's going to save you, bro.
Yes,
I promise you.
I would love to talk to you, and let's share this story, bro, because it needs to be told, needs to be heard, bro. So if you're ready, let me know when. And thank you. I had no idea, bro, and I'm sorry.
I didn't either. I don't know Kenny personally, but I seen him. I know he's a part of that Lake Cumberland recovery crew, and I seen he was doing good things. And just because you failed don't mean you have to stay down there, man. And the devil will lie to you, man. It was like, when I came to, I was in a blackout. When I came to and realized what happened, my heart was, it was ripped out of my chest, man. I was like 5 years down the drain. All I could do was beat myself up and throw some more dope on it. And thank God for my little boy and my wife, and for Mike and Jessica and people that love me, man. Thank God for them, because thank God for that recovery I did have, because I knew that everything I did wasn't just thrown away. And I still had that relationship with God, man, believe it or not. It was almost an accident, but at the same time, I own up to making a mistake. I should have never took the prescription that I took from the doctor. And but that's in the past, man. And that's where I'm going to leave that today. Yeah. I can talk about it. I'm glad that I went through it, because there was a time where I just thought I'll never have to fight this battle again. I'm free of it and I don't have to fight it. Guess what? I'm here and I'm fighting it, and I'll fight it for the rest of my life, because I got a little boy and a daughter that needs their dad, and my wife needs her husband. So I'm here and I'm gonna fight.
Yes.
And Kenny, you do the same thing, bro.
And that's what I like about Robbie. Robbie's always been raw and real. Like, even though when you was with the Isaiah house, and like something about me and Robbie clicked, because you keep it 100, I keep it 100, and that's what I like about you. Anytime you called, I was there, man. And I always told you, man, like, I want to push your story, because even I looked up to you, bro. And a lot of people, like, you was out here doing it. You was out here wide open, bro. You was out here in the middle of the recovery community. You was out here, like, you would call me, bro, I'm over here picking up Jody, or I'm over here going to get Leroy, or I'm over here getting Henry. And you was doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, and just boom, 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 boom. And then, I believe, now I'll keep it on me. I believe we get so busy. Well, some people is wide open or bust. Jessica Renner, she's wide open or bust, period. Wide open or bust. She's going 2 phones. I got 2 phones, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I've got to, and she pulls back a lot too, but you got
to have that balance, man. Yes. And that's where I got lost. I honestly, and I talked to Kevin Horn. I love Kevin Horn, man. He's one of my mentors, one of my favorite people. And I talked to Kevin, and I was like, man, my pride and ego was so inflated that I thought I can't talk to people. Who do I talk to, man? They're supposed to come to me for help, right? Like I couldn't break down and say, look, man, about to have this baby and I'm scared to death.
Yep.
I'm about to be a dad, and I failed at one time before. I'm scared to death. So instead of talking about it, I let it eat my mind up. I wasn't sleeping at night, and I wasn't getting any rest. I had a business, still do, and man, I just I let all that anxiety win, and I went to the doctor for some help, and man, it was the wrong kind of help. I did pretty good with it for a while until I didn't. The doctor gave me, the pharmacy actually gave me a prescription doubled of what I'm supposed to take. And I'm like, what? When I was looking for that stuff, it never would have happened. And man, I can remember taking that pill, and I can remember I was talking to my wife and I'm fading in and out. And it was so wild. It was like, what, 2 or 3 days went by and I don't even know. I had my pastor, my best friend, Chad Creech. He's at my house with his family. They're visiting my family. He was there. I had no idea. And then I come to and I'm in my truck with a needle in my arm, and it got real then, man. It was like, oh man, I can remember just thinking I'm about to lose everything in my life.
Yep.
And had I kept going, I would have, no doubt in my mind, I would have. And things happen. That phenomenon of craving, it's a real thing. And people manipulate that too. They'll manipulate that big book just like they will anything. I could manipulate it and say, oh, well, I've got to go on this well-known spree, right? Because the book talks about it. So I can use that for my good. If I want to use, I'm going on this well-known spree that everybody does, right? Because the book says you do. So I use that to my advantage. Because I'm supposed to go on this spree is what that book tells me. And that's what I'm going to tell you. And that way you understand where I am at. That's bull crap, man.
He told me that the other night. He's like, man, that's what addiction does. That's what we're doing. I'm like, listen, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's not what we do.
No, man, I had enough sense about me to know that. But at the same time, my pride, my ego from all this recovery stuff in my head, that's the reason I was using. I was hurt. And I remember the last time I used, I did a shot and I made another one up so I wouldn't have to go through that process again without my wife seeing or whatever. And I made one up and put it back. And I did that shot, and I walked in my bedroom and I looked through the living room and I see my wife and my little boy. And God spoke to me, man. God spoke to me. He's like, you're not ever going to be a part of that woman's life or that child's life if you don't put this stuff down right now. And I hit my knees and I cried out to God for the strength to go in and flush this stuff, for the courage to get sober again. And man, I went in there and I flushed that stuff down the toilet. I've been clean ever since April 25th, 2024. On Christmas Day, I just celebrated 8 months. But man, my pride, my ego about killed me, man. Like, but at the same time, my life wasn't the only life. For one time in my life wasn't the only life I had to worry about.
Yes.
I got a daughter and I got a wife and I got a newborn baby, and God used that to my advantage, and I was able to put it down.
Like I know your story prior to this fall down you had, and then, it was, even though you had a daughter, but now you got, a beautiful, like, what that feeling when you looked through there and you saw what God has blessed you with, allowed you to have, and then you got this disease, the devil over here with this loaded needle, as you said. And
yeah,
let's talk about that, because a lot of people say they love their kids, but they they don't have the power to stop using. Number one. Number two, you know, they won't love them enough to get clean and sober.
Yeah. I think for me, it was experiencing the good life for 5 years, experiencing the freedom, experiencing the joy. My heart had been changed. God changed me. And here I was trying to get back to that old me. Every time I put something in me, man, it was miserable. I was never going to reach that person I used to be because God changed me. And I experienced that love and that joy and that freedom, and I knew I'd never have it again if I didn't stop. And seeing that little boy, man, that little boy, he, he's a replica of me. Um, and not being in my daughter's life for 20 years, um, I remember my daughter, I went to treatment for a few days and but I wasn't gonna go. My daughter reached out to me. She said, "Dad, you gonna go to treatment?" I said, "No, sweetheart. I've been sober for 5 years. I've only been using for a few days. Your dad don't need treatment. I'm not gonna go." And she, man, she's she's a lot like me. She'll hit you in the throat with it. And she came back with, "Do you want to give Max the same kind of life you gave me?" And I was like, "Oh man, like that, you know, I was out of my daughter's life for 20 years." And shoo wee. Um, so I went to treatment and I stayed as long as I could. And I got out. I'm sitting in that house, you know, and thank God I had the ability to take myself out of that situation. I had to ask my wife. I said, "Hey, let's go to Florida for a while." We was going to go for a week. A week turned into 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned into a month, and that's exactly what I needed. Though I needed that time with my little boy. He was 2 months old. I needed that time with my wife, and I needed away from that house and that environment that I was starting to get sick in. And I remember a lady in recovery, a big recovery uh, uh, advocate, whatever, reached out to me and says, "Who relapses and goes on vacation for a month?" And I said, "I do." B. And I blocked her. And I mean, I looked at that like, man, who says that? Like, is there a certain amount of time I'm supposed to punish myself? Matter of fact, I'm gonna start loving myself again because I'm not a bad person. I made a mistake. I took full responsibility for it. I had a lot of people say, "Man, I can't believe you went on Facebook and posted what happened." I said, transparency is a huge part of how I stay sober. I didn't do that for you. I did that for me. And guess what? I'm still here 8 months clean and sober. So maybe you won't do that. Maybe that's not a part of your story.
You know, and when you done that, and I remember me and you talked about it, and I was like, you know, you need to do it because you being honest and like social media is, you know, a lot. It helps a lot of people. You know, a
It's
lot
like
of people don't
it's like
understand.
jail. You go, you can be whatever you want to be on here. You know what I mean?
But you telling that helped so many people, man, because it opened up a lot of eyes on how easy, no matter what life you have, the business, the home, the woman, the kids, what it opened up my eyes on how easy one bad mistake, one bad choice, one go, even if it's a doctor, you know what I'm saying? And I told you this story the other day when we was taking old dude to treatment. I was scared to death. And I always remember your story. Because your story, like, it's not about the fall, but you have got up, man, and you tell this story. You're not ashamed of it, bro, and that's what's powerful because God has used you.
No, man, I'm a human. Like that at the end of the day, and that relapse let me know more than anything in the world, man, you're a human. God spoke to me because I had that attachment to him. Like 7 days wasn't going to break 5 years of a relationship with God. It did, but at the same time, I still knew where the power was, and I still knew to get on my knees and where to go to when I needed the help. And man, and my wife, man, so huge during all of this. Like, I remember looking in the bedroom and my little boy's sleeping in his crib and my wife's in her Bible and she's praying.
She rode with you through this, bro.
It was, I knew I had to do something. I don't know. It it was a fall that I had to take, and I'm glad it happened, honestly, because 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, none of that really means much. Um, because I tell you what, I was telling someone the other day, man, I had 3 and 4 years clean and a business and great life, this and that, all the money you could need, want, whatever. But I remember being more happy having 7 days clean in the hallway of the Isaiah house with nothing on but a few clothing articles to my name and being more free then with 7 days clean than I was at 3 years. So something had to happen.
Yes.
And I don't care that it happened. It's in the past. It happened. Well, I'm here to tell you today that you can pick yourself back up, and your journey is what you make of it. I'm just the type to be real with it, man. I just was real with it from the very beginning. I talked to Kevin Horn. He said I had a job at the time. He's like, if you go live with this, right, you might not be able to keep your job at the treatment center. And I was like, that's okay, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my life. This might save my life. That might save my job, but this might save my life. So it's okay. I just did what I thought was right for me.
Yes.
And here I am, 8 months clean. It could have been a lot worse. I never got clean with $50,000 in my bank account, and I did. You know what I mean? I've always had to be homeless before I would make an attempt at getting clean. But God used my son and my wife and my family this time. This time I had other stuff than just me to lose. So, it was a little bit different.
Yeah. Alan Barnett, I see you, man. I love you. Glad to see you on here, man. I would love to get you on here and tell your story too. And like when all this went down, they reached out to me to go to Robbie's house, and I
love you too, Cheryl.
I met Robbie's wife in the driveway, and she's like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Listen, where's the baby at?" And she's like, "I got him in the back seat." And I said, "Listen, get in that truck and just drive, go. Just go." And I said, "Well, where's Robbie at?" She's like, "He's in there on the couch asleep." And I said, "Okay, you give me permission to go in?" She's like, "Yeah." And I said, "All right, just go. I won't go in until you leave, because honestly, I can sit here and say this today. I was going in, didn't know if I was going to fight you. I had a pistol on me. I had a pistol because I'm allowed to have a pistol. But honestly, Robbie, I didn't know. I've never seen you messed up, bro.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was scared to go in that house, your house, not my house. So I'm entering a house that you could say anything and get me in trouble. Just like the other day, how he acted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always think ahead, but I was honestly scared. I was like, man, how's Robbie going to react when he sees the recovery police walk in? And honestly, you didn't. You was the same. Like, you knew.
Yeah.
You knew it was time.
I knew it had to stop, and I wanted it to stop, but I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like. And but it always comes back to surrender. Like, for me, it's I got to give up, man. Like, I fought this damn fight my whole entire life for 25 years. I know what drug addiction has done to me. I know what it looks like. I'm done letting it beat my ass. I'm going to get on my knees. I'm going to ask the only person I know that can help me for help. And I did, man. And that's where I received it, and I received it through friends like you. Josh Roberts was huge when I first got clean again, because we got clean together in 2019, and he was down there at Lake Cumberland when I got there, and man, he had tears in his eyes. I'm gonna share this with you, man. Yeah, Jessica, she was gonna tase me. She told me that story when I got down there, and she wasn't playing, man. She was. But so on the way to treatment, right? I agreed to go, but I loaded one up. I mean, I loaded it up, and I had it in my pocket. And I told my wife, I was like, "Stop at the store. I'm gonna get one in me, right, before I go to treatment, because that's what we do, and that's what my sick ass mind told me." I had one loaded. And this is how God works. This is nothing but God. Stop. We're fighting. I'm like, stop the car. I'm going in. She stops the car. I go in. I'm like, I'm gonna get me this. I'm gonna get me this Gatorade and this dip and stuff before I go in the bathroom. Because when I get out of the bathroom, I ain't gonna be able to talk, or I'm gonna look all weird and funny, and people's gonna know, right? So I go up there and I get my chew in the back, and I get my Gatorade, and I go in the bathroom. I'm like, here we go. I pull that out of my pocket. There's nothing in it.
There was nothing in it?
Nothing. I'm pissed. I come back to the car. My wife is so happy. She was in there praying that something like that happened. She's in the car praying. My little boy's in the back seat. And then the other recovery police pulls up. Josh Roberts, he's looking at me. He's like, "Man, you ready to go?" I'm like, "I ain't going, bro. This just happened. I got to get one before I go." And man, I looked in his eyes, and he had tears coming down his eyes. He's like, "Man, please just come." And I did. And that night, like I said, I wasn't too far away from God. I knew what God was doing in my life that night. He was saving me. So, that was a powerful moment though, man. I look back, like, who knows what would happen if I took that shot? Like, I don't know, but
Where'd it go to?
I guess in my pocket.
Busted or something?
I guess, I don't know. It just wasn't in there. Yeah, it was not in there. And man, God doing for me what I couldn't do for myself. And so then I was able to accept all that. I'm here. The hardest part was being away from my son for the little while, and honestly, I couldn't do it. After about 3 or 4 days, I'm like, I'm ready to go home. And thank God for that place. Thank God for Jessica, Erica Gentry. I got a picture of me in that treatment center with holding my little boy, and Erica took it. She sent me that picture when I got home, and she said, "I hope you never have to rely on someone's kindness to be able to see your kid again like that."
I'd like to see that picture.
I got it on my phone, and I keep it there. But yeah, man, it's I didn't want that to be a part of my story. But guess what? It was, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for this year. I'm grateful that I have a wife that put her boots on with me, man. She didn't have to do that. She could have left.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful that I'm able to be a dad and to be a husband. And these are things that you're not going to see me on social media as much as what you see me, because I've made a resolution this year, like, I want to be a better husband. I don't need all this outside distractions. I want to be a better father. All this stuff, man, can draw me away from that. And so, we're doing a fast at church, and I'm gonna fast from social media. That's because you ain't gonna take the food away from me. I promise. 30 days without food, man. I'm gonna hurt something. that's the only thing I do. When I see Wendy and Heather Marple, these are my friends. Cheryl from back in Ohio, man. People that's loved me all the way through this. I
Awesome.
love y'all, man.
Awesome.
That's another thing. Like I had a friend of mine, Aaron Snyder, reach out to me. He's not one of us, and through the gym, I've created these awesome relationships because healthy people go to the gym. Most people there have a good agenda, life agenda, and when I opened up of my story, my relapse, and I posted, I had over 1,000 people see it and comment, and I bet my phone rang for 4 days, man. But I can remember Aaron reaching out to me and saying, "Man, I never knew like what you go through as an addict." Like he said something to the effect that like, a bad decision for me, I might lose a couple $100. A bad decision for you, you lose your life. He said, "Not, I never understood that till I met you and opened up. You opened up to what this addiction is like." And that's something I'm glad that I have a voice for it. I'm glad I can speak about it, and I'm glad that I don't care what anybody in this world thinks about it, because I'm the one that has to live with that at the end of the day. And if my story can help one other person, and I know it can, then I'm gonna keep sharing it, man. And that's it's not for anything other than that. I've went through 25 years of hell with this, not just for me, man, for a lot of other people.
Yes. And that's your story. Even when you back then you helped a lot of people, man. But like this story today with 8 months on your belt, you impact people with this. Because I've seen 2 people open up on here, bro, that blowed I had no idea. And I want to thank you all for, going public with it, because I didn't know. And that helps me and it'll help a lot of other people, man, because the people you think that, nah, it never can happen to them.
Yeah. When I opened up that day and I hit send on that post, I had just relief. I put my phone down. It wasn't 5 minutes, man. I got a text message from the guy. I said, "Hey, bro, thank you so much for this. I've been in a relapse for 4 or 5 days now, and I haven't told anyone or I haven't opened up to nobody about it. And I know that if you can do this, I can do this." And I said, "Man, call somebody immediately, get some help and get back on your feet." I had 2 or 3 people that same kind of message or, interaction was like, "Man, thank God that you did open up. Thank God I would have never come clean had I not heard you come clean."
And that's what it's about, man, is honesty. You got to have honesty right off the rip. And
Yeah.
my wife's on here. I love you, babe. Thanks for joining us.
Love you too.
It's 8:40. Hello. But no, huge shout out to my wife, man. She's the backbone of thankjohnperiod.com. Take that to the bank. When I look at my kids, Robbie, even though my kids get on my nerves, I try to explain it to people, man. That substance that's going to kill us, it's a solid. And then you got kids over here that just wants, "Daddy, I love you."
Yeah.
Whoop, dee, dee, dee.
That's all the
me in the
difference, man.
stomach, and but people will give up those kids and the wife for the devil's telling them, "Hey, you got to have this, you got to have this." But people will give this up for that quick fix. That's like the scales don't.
Yeah. It's I see, like, I can see how that can happen. After having my son, for me, it was, I've got to stop. There's no way I can keep going. I don't, I had plenty of resources, financial resources, and other ways to keep going. I didn't spend probably $300 in 7 days. You know what I mean? But it wasn't that. It was, that's not who I wanted to be. And that's not, if I wanted that to happen, I'd still be doing it. It happened. I was blindsided by it. And, but, I put my foot down and, you know, through this, through this, this time, man, I seen some people in recovery that's fake as hell, man. Like I've lost friends over, like I haven't talked. There's people I haven't talked to since then because they're not friends with me now. And I thank God that He's removed them out of my life. But I'm like, man, you're full of shit, bro. You need to quit going live. You're full of shit. You know what I mean? Like, take that junk somewhere else, because you know if you suffer from the same problem I suffer from, man, I'd be loving on you. I wouldn't throw you over there. Oh, he's no good now. You know what I mean? So I had to step back, and recovery ain't always beautiful, man. The people in it ain't always beautiful. Um, the people saying I love you, I love you, I love you is an action word these days for me. Like I fell into that, like, yeah, this is my dude, blah blah blah. Man, block you. Like it's over. You know what I mean? Like you're full of it. But you're gonna have that with anybody. Um, and that's all over the world.
Yeah.
But it opened up my eyes, and I'm grateful for that. Like, because I was lightweight worshiping a person and people that just full of shit, and that's all there is to it. Um,
And my wife told me this 27 times. And I never did believe her. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And,
yeah, man.
a snake will bite you 3 or 4 times if you let it.
Yeah, man. What people do for I don't know. I'm just glad, like, my circle's a lot smaller, and I'm glad that was revealed during that process. I pray for them people, and I don't wish them nothing but the best. This is a hard world, especially as an addict, man. You're always gonna be fighting, man. I made a post not too long ago about I was in New York, man, and I'm like, man, this atmosphere is crazy, man. It's Christmas time here. You know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful with my wife and my little boy, man. I could probably have a mixed drink when I get back to the hotel room. Right? It's probably a Christmas thing to do, right? Like, I swear it wasn't 5 seconds later. I look over on the ground. There's this woman holding this little girl, man, in a blanket, and it's freezing cold. And God told me that's going to be you and that boy. That's going to be you and your son and your wife. You take a drink. Thank God, thank God that immediately that was, and I talk about that stuff. I don't know if I'm supposed to or not, but you know what I mean? I will, because it's just real. People live with these thoughts and don't ever talk about them because they're ashamed of them. I'm not going to live with them like that, man. I'm going to tell on it. I don't have no choice. Like, I'm going to tell somebody about it. I'm not going to live with it no more. I'm not going to put all that weight on my shoulders anymore.
No. And, and that's what it's about, man, is telling them, because, people do have thoughts, and like this year, I mean, I've had plenty of thoughts, man. Bad days, bad moments. My wife mad at me, business wide open, just clients crazy, financial crazy. And I'm like, is this really worth it? But that's the devil, tricking me, talking in my head.
Yeah.
But I can play the tape out, and I understand, like, those thoughts is not real. Those thoughts are lies. But now if I feed into that thought, bro, or if I have to keep back to what you just said, you know what I'm saying? Like we got to tell on it, or we got to, truth versus reality versus the devil.
And I got out of doing a lot of stuff in recovery, and I got married and had a baby, and I stopped doing, a lot of stuff. Now, I always, like, my heart's always, I see someone hurting, I'm going to help them. I don't care where we're at. We're on vacation, wherever we're at. Like, my heart's always been that heart that's like, I'm going to buy you something to eat. If you're hungry, I'm whatever, but I stopped, telling my story. I stopped doing a lot of things, but God's opening up. Like, today I'm here. The other day we did a 12-step call together, got a friend of ours in treatment. This place over in Berea asked me to come and bring a meeting in over at Yonder on Thursday nights. So I'm committed to that. And I was telling Kevin Horn this morning, or this afternoon, I was like, man, I think I need this stuff, to keep me fresh and to keep me, because this is where 25, 30 years of fighting this demon, bro. This is the only way to fight it is to get right in the middle of it. And that's what I love about it. No more chip on my shoulder, a lot more humble than before. And it's just a different ball game, man. I got a little boy, man, that I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Yes. And that's what it's about. Service work, and you always help people, man. And I'm the same way. My wife's the same way. My wife gets on to me because I help, a lot of people, and I'll give somebody my last $20 and be broke. But you can't outgive God, and it's not about how much you give; it's about how you give it. Even if it's something to eat, or a new pair of pants, or a new pair of shoes, or buying them something to eat, coffee, whatnot, whatever. That can lighten somebody's day. Food to make somebody smile. Period.
Yeah.
But now, anybody ask me for a beer, it ain't happening.
Right.
No, bro, get it off the roof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because that's just not right. Now, if I give a dude $5 and what he does with it's on him.
Right.
And that's what people's like, man, I can't believe you're gonna give that dude. Well, no, listen. I mean, I'm giving, what he does with it's on him.
Right.
But if I think, like, I had a dude reach out to, me, you, Dylan from church,
Yeah.
quite a few people today, and
Yeah.
they called me like, "What should I do?" I said, "Bro, I have no idea. If he wants food, order him a DoorDash.
Yeah.
Don't send him no money." And they thought he was still with us. I'm like, "No, he's not with us, man."
Yeah, I've seen that, and I immediately was like, "Nah, bro, I'm sorry, I can't help you." The thing about it is, when I got sober, I didn't need nobody's help. Even in treatment, I did a year long at the Isaiah House. I was being fed. If you're sober, you're gonna have access to that, man. You don't need $20, man. You just don't. I was the type where I had been doing this so long. When I got to treatment, I promised I wasn't going to ask my mom. I wasn't going to ask my sisters. I wasn't going to ask nobody for nothing. I was going to get everything on my own. And 6 years later, I'm still getting it on my own. Not one person. I had somebody say, "Man, your family must be made of money."
Bro,
my family ain't done a damn thing for me, bro. But they love me, and that's all I wanted from them. Anything I've done, I was able to do on my own. If you want something bad enough, you're going to go do it, man. But we send somebody to treatment. I'm going to throw some money on their books, or something like that. But I've had a bunch of people just ask me for money here lately. Like, I'm just not in it. I'm just not into. I know what that. I sent somebody $20 about 2 years ago, man, and it was a day or two later they found him dead in the hospital, and in the hospital bathroom in Lexington. And I was like, man, was that $20? It's crazy. Right. So, it's a long battle.
Yes.
It's a daily battle, daily fight.
It is. And, back to, where you're at today, recovery is possible. And, even though you had a fall down, man, you've been on this journey for a while, it's just time under our belt, it's just a number under our belt, but, you learn from it, and you've actually grown from it, man. And like, for me, church is a huge part of my recovery. I don't go to meetings. I may go. I've not been to a meeting in a long time. I pray. I look at material here. I'll look at the book every now and then. But far as, I got a support group, we got a network, but
I'm the same way,
man. Like,
God is the answer. Like, I told you in my story not too long ago, and that is my story. As a young kid, I don't know my dad to this day, and honestly, it's been crazy. I told my wife last night, I was like, man, I think I'm gonna reach out to my dad because I think I know who he is. I think it's time. to show some forgiveness. And so I think that's going to be coming up in my life is I'm gonna try to make some attempts to have a relationship. I don't know how much longer he's going to be here. I was looking at a picture of him and me and my son, and we're all identical. Like, it's crazy. And I don't want to be the person that I want to at least give that opportunity. My daughter gave it to me. So who am I not to give it to my son or to my dad? So, but my story was I wasn't introduced to God as a kid, and I grew up in low income housing. Got to middle school, started playing sports, and I look at all my friends. They've got a mom and a dad. Here I am. I live with my grandparents in these apartments, and my friends, they've got houses with mom and dads and nice houses and cars and stuff. And I'm like, man, this God, like God couldn't love me, right? Like he must love them a lot more, right? Because they got everything they need. And
Perfect love.
yeah, and that was I wasn't mad at God. I just thought he didn't want nothing to do with me, right? So that's why you see me with my little boy at church, because I want my son to know that God loves him through no matter what. I had this perspective that I just wasn't enough, and God just didn't love me like he did everyone else, or I would have the dad, I would have the family life, I would have this, what my friends had. But that just was just part of my story.
It is. So you know who your dad is?
I'm almost positive.
Is he from like here?
Ohio, yeah.
Okay. Wow. And so it's been bothering you that.
Yeah, I grew up like, and it's part of, I'm sure it has a lot to do with my addiction. Was like, I don't need to ever meet that son of a gun.
Yep.
I'm a man. I want to put this on my shoulders, and blah blah blah. And then my daughter coming into my life and showing me some grace, and then having my little boy has changed a lot of that. I'm just like, I just told my wife last night. I said, man, I think I'm gonna reach out to him and give him an opportunity to be in my life and my son's life.
Yeah.
I want to show I don't want to have no bitterness in my heart no more. It keeps you sick.
It does.
And without church, without friends that are living healthy lifestyles, without being connected to God, man, I'm still a failure in so many ways, man. Like my mouth, for one, like I love to cuss. I don't know why, but I just do. It's my way to express myself, I feel like. But I need to change. There's a lot of things I need to change, and especially in my marriage, like being a husband's not easy. Being a father's not easy, and there's a lot that I fail at. And today, like I dealt with some of that, and it's like, man, so much more growth that needs to be had,
Right.
But I'm giving myself a chance because I'm sober, and that's and I'm acknowledging it. It's my wife, Virgin River. She got me watching this thing on Netflix, bro. That these people are being reunited with their dads and moms, and man, I'm in there crying.
Really?
I swear I watched the whole season today. It was like a soap opera, but it's funny how God will use some crazy stuff. Yeah. No. Hey, bro. No. I'll tell you, but it's funny how God will use some stuff like that to twist your heart, and my wife's laughing.
Like that stuff's important because TV shows back then, we didn't have feelings, man. And today, like certain stuff gets to us. Like my brother up here, man, I'll use him. Like, for many years, I mean, even though he's my big brother, man, I love him as my big brother, but I lost my big brother. I didn't know him. Number one, I was gone, and he was gone, but he was high and I was high. And, we was just on two different paths. And like Marie, she brought it up the other day, and I was like, man, like, I know that's my brother. But, you know, I mean, she's like, you don't even know your brother, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean I don't know my brother? That's my brother. She's like, you don't know your brother. Like, you've never, like, I don't remember I remember bits and pieces as a kid, but now we're 45 and 46 years old, 47, whatever. You know, we're adults, we're maturing, and I don't even know my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's hard.
Yeah. I know your brother about as long as I've known you. I play. Oh, matter of fact, I skipped my men's league game tonight. Sorry, Chris. Sorry, Dave, Gabrielle. I'll be there next week. I promise.
Yeah, whatever.
They just use me to foul people.
Yeah,
Anyway.
can't whoop us.
Oh, congratulations, Dave, on 10 years too, bro. I love you, man. That's good stuff. I play men's league with some guys that are in recovery, and like I said, I met your brother down there a couple of years ago, and he seen me and he's like, "Man, you know my brother, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah," and we instantly clicked. I love Nick. I'm proud of him.
Did you know he had a problem then?
Well, he didn't make it to every game, but look, I'm sober and I didn't make it to my game. So but no, I kind of knew just from talking to you and I know that if you have an issue and you're not doing something about it, that there's always going to be an issue. Like if you're not recovering, it's always going to be an issue. And that's the biggest thing is I I hire people that's got, these kind of issues, and I'm always hopeful, like, that I want them to do, to recover, not to just not use, but sometimes, man, I get, you know, I get the short end of the stick, and but I'm always the bad guy. I'm the one that didn't do this or didn't do that, and but I get it, man. If you're just not using, you're still that piece of crap. You know what I mean? You're just not using. And I don't want to be there, but that I think, most important, that relationship with God changes everything, man. God's gonna, if you go to him, man. I went to him as broken as one person could be, and he was able to take my heart and turn it around. And I never thought I'd be doing some of the things, I've been able every Christmas and Thanksgiving for the last few years. I've had my business. I've been able to bless some families and buy Christmas for families and do things like you couldn't have told me, 6 years ago. Well, one, I told somebody this not too long ago when I had about 4 months clean. I hadn't had my license for about 18 years. And I was like, man, if I could get a moped, bro, I'd have this world by the balls. You know what I mean? Like, if I could just get a moped. And it wasn't too long ago. I was driving home and I pull up and I've got my truck, my work truck, my wife's car. I'm like, man, God is good. Like, I just wasn't a moped, you know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's,
But, it's, it all comes back to him for me. Without that relationship, I can go to these meetings. I can say, hey, I'm this and I'm that, and I'm this and that and that. And I can sit in there and tell this and that. But without that relationship with God, that's what saves me. That's what saved me. Was his mercy and his grace and his love in my life, and me being able to recognize that. And that saves me today. It's really, he's really opened up my heart to, I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing as far as work. I want my work to be what I love to do, and that's what I'm pushing towards. Hopefully in the near future, I'm gonna have a change of occupation, I'm tired, I'm old. I want to pour out my heart on a daily basis to someone that needs it. And I think that's my calling. That's where I'm happy. That's where my joy comes from. And we talked about it at church this Sunday, being church hurt. You know, I went to a church and I got church hurt. I got recovery hurt. But you know what? At the end of the day, humans are going to be humans.
Yeah.
They're going to let you down, man. I can't put nobody back up here because that's where God sits. Humans are going to be humans. So
I like it.
I just need to, show love and grace, just like God showed me, like my daughter showed me, like my wife showed me, like my family showed me. I just need to do that with anyone that I come in contact with, man. And man, that's what sets you free is like that bitterness in my heart towards my dad. Like I want to be set free of that, man. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to have no more bitterness in my heart. So what's the next step is reaching out
Yes.
and doing that.
Yes. It's awesome to hear you say that because, we've had discussions or you brought it up about your dad and this and that, but just to see you wanting to do that, man, it's amazing. And you got to do that.
Yeah.
You have to just for no, and it's not for him, it's for you.
Right.
Because
right. I went my whole life with making a joke out of it, and even to this day, I'll tell my story and be like, my dad went out for cigarettes 45 years ago. He should be back any minute, you know what I mean? But like, I just don't want to live with it no more. And my son and my daughter, those two combined, like I said, my daughter allowing me into her life. I got to spend Christmas with her. We got to go on a trip not too long ago, and just that love right there, man, is the same kind of love I want to give to him if he's willing to accept it. And that's I just want to be free of it. I think it's one thing in my story that needs to be dealt with that hasn't been.
Yep. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta get free. Because that's part of your cleaning your slate. And getting answers.
I see Paul Travis, boy, my dude.
Yeah.
I may have never met that dude a day in my life, but I feel like me and him can cut up.
Me and Paul, listen, Paul Travis Rowe, man, like he met me back when I was at the Hope Center, I was staff, and he come in detox. And he brought it up to me the other day. He's like, man, and he was telling me how look where I'm at, and I was like, man, look where you're at, bro. And he's like, you forgot when you met me in detox, didn't you? I was like, bro. He's like, man, like. I forget a lot, but there's a lot of people out here in this recovery world, man, that I've met and shared my story with because I was the guy that the world said he ain't gonna make it. He's gonna be a piece of crap, needle junkie. He's gonna be in prison, dead, whatnot, whatever. But God,
right?
But we got to fight every day, man, and that's the reason I wanted you to come on here and share your story, man, because a number is just a number, man. But what you do every day. Not only for your family but for everybody else, because you do the work. Your willingness is on point, and you're raw and real, man. And that's what it's about, and that's what I like about you. That's what I love about you. And for you to go, we went together on a 12-step call, man.
That's the thing, man. When you see, I don't know him that well. I've seen him, at church and all that, but I know he had some time under his belt, and then I see him fall down, and man, I made it a point that I'm going to track him down. Like we found him, you know what I mean? I tracked him down, and we showed up at the house. His eyes was this big around, but it was one of those things where like, dude, look, I know what that's like to have some time in, and I know what it's like to fall down. And my heart was ripped out of my chest when I found out. I thought I gave up 5 years of sobriety. Really, I didn't give up nothing, but a week of my time to the devil. Yeah. And thank God that's all it was. But to deal with that shame and that guilt, man, I just wanted to be there to tell him, look, man, who cares what these people think, bro? This ain't about these people. This is about you and taking back your life. If I can do it, you can do it. I never thought I'd ever get sober with money in my pocket. I've never been able to do that, but God changes things, man. And that's why I try my best to be at church when I can be, because that separation is huge. The longer you separate yourself, the more the devil is moving in, man. So Dylan Ballard, I love you, buddy. It was great to see you in New York, and what a story that dude has, and it's because his dad got clean. And that's what I want my son. That's what I want my son's story to be, is because my dad got clean, I had a shot at life. I had a shot at living.
And that's amazing, because the people that, the church people, man,
Yeah.
they've opened up to us, bro. And sat down to me and my wife the other day and told, opened up their story, and we was blown away. Just
Yeah, and these are just humans too, man. They've got other problems. They might not use, they might not drink, but they've got demons they're dealing with. And for a long time, I just put church people up here. They're church people. They don't want nothing to do with me. I don't even like telling my story at church. They don't understand me. At the end of the day, their demons is just like mine. And I got to show them grace and love, and it took me forever to get on that page, because I'm putting them up here, man. Because drug addiction will keep you down here. I'm worthless. I'm this, I'm that. Man, you're not. You get clean and you find some self-worth, and you start loving on yourself again. And then God opens up like all this knowledge and wisdom about life and about grace and about, man, these people are suffering. These people suffered too, man. They're just not suffering, but they just don't know what it's like to be in this area of life, in this area of sin. But they suffer in other many ways. If it's too much food, if it's too much sex, if it's too much porn, whatever, it's all demons that we're battling. So I try to look at them as like we're all equal. You know what I mean? And that's just real.
It is. And like Richmond House of Prayer, man, huge shout out to them, because they welcome us with open arms, man. They treat us like gold, man. And they like
Steve Sowers, I love you, buddy.
Dylan called me today, man, and we talked for about 20 minutes. I was building a fire out back, burning some cardboard and Christmas stuff, and we talked, and I kind of told him our little incident, 12-step call, and it really bothered him, man. And like, he's never experienced what we went through, but he's experienced what families went through, and he's like, man, and first thing he says is, any way I can help, let me know.
Yeah, man. Well, I got to run into him in New York, and I bonded so much more with him just outside of church, and his heart, and his wife's heart, and how they love my kid, and they never made me feel any different than equal. And I love that about the church. And like this message at church was, man, I can find a reason to not like church. I can find a reason not like Richmond, Kentucky. I can find a reason not to like anything if I look hard enough. But my wife tells me all the time that's the devil. And sometimes my pride ego said that's okay. It's okay. It's the devil. Let's let this one ride. I don't like him, but that's not real, man. Like, Steven, man, that dude's awesome. I met him at the Saratoga down here playing pool one night, and to see him get sober, like we were using that night, and to see him sober and spreading love and joy, man, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Danny Vance, I see you, man. Love you, buddy. Jamie Luster, man. Jamie, we go back to the Hope Center, man. Love you, Jamie. Good to see you on here. We've been on here about an hour and 10 minutes, man. We're going to wrap this up. It's 9:00 at night. It's getting late for us two old men, but get this shout out, y'all, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Anybody that joins us and we're not live up top, it'll be a rerun. So if you're struggling, man, reach out. We have resources to inpatient, outpatient, ILP, short-term, long-term, whatever, man. You don't gotta live in the hell you're living in. There is a way out. We know a way out. You're looking at two guys that's been to hell, and we're we're living free today, man. And a lot of people in these comments, man, they're living free today too.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, man. You know, just sharing stories, man, because I never dreamed that I would be where I'm at doing what I'm doing, to share my story and give people chances to share their story. John Cassandra,
Yeah.
you know, he's the one that made my background right.
Yeah. John, boy, we did a podcast together, and man, me, him, and Troy Hill and Ted McCourt, bro, it was so emotional. It was 4 dudes in there crying.
Yeah.
We was shedding tears, and 2 of us was pretty big dudes, and we're in there shedding tears. But man, I thank God that I can show emotion, and I thank God that I don't have to hide it no more, and that He can just have my heart and do whatever He wants with it, man. And what a blessing to be here tonight. You know, 8 months ago, it was a very scary time in my life. And I think, man, just 8 months is a great amount of time to have sober right now. You know what I mean? If it could have been 5 years and 8 months, but guess what? It ain't. It's just 8 months, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And it's amazing because I know this run's going to be a whole lot more better and a whole lot. It's going to mean more to you, man. Dave Rushing, I love you, buddy. Donut Dave from the Hope Center. He met me my first day in 2016. He's been with me ever since, man. And that's the family that I have from the Hope Center, man. Even though I'm not part of the Hope Center and I don't get time to go up there, man, I still have connections. And, you know, very few on my hand that I still mess with because, you know, even though I'm busy, they still reach out to me. They still come and see me. And, you know, when we go to Lexington, man, we'll stop and see them. But I love you, Dave. Thanks for everything you do. Old man, I still love you. But, yeah, listen, we're going to close this out, man. I love you all. Thanks for your support. Will be 2025 at 8 p.m. from now on. I'll have a banner made, a flyer made, and a post. But yeah, 2025 will be at 8 p.m. Eastern instead of 9 p.m. And like I said, man, there is hope after dope. You're looking at it. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for everything. And we'll see you next week. Don't pick up, don't use. There is a way out. If you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, guess what? Ask for help. We're out of here. Love y'all. Well,
is this what you want me to start rapping? Because I will. I should have been a rapper.
You ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Don't know it. You in the wrong building. Nowhere to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane. I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now. Right now. I'm staring at my window pane.
I'm counting raindrops. Like, where's God at? When will the pain stop? Like, when will this be over? How come I can't stop? I swear to God, I can't stop. I ain't believing God, still I would pray to him. When no one else around, when they brought them trays to him. Like, where my rider dies, it's like I was dead to him. This is my window pane, I view the world
staring
through.
at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane.
Like, where's
I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now.
You ain't got cold chill, something's wrong with you. Don't know it. You in the wrong building. Nowhere to turn.
I could really use a friend right now. Yeah, I just need a friend. I'm staring at my window pane. I'm staring at my window pane. I could use a friend. I could use a friend. I just need a friend right now. Right now. I'm staring at my window pane.
I'm counting raindrops. Like, where's God at? When will the pain stop? Like, when will this be over? How come I can't stop? I swear to God. to him.